Welcome to the your one-stop shop for all things guitar culture nonsense. Aaron.
That does not bode well for the rest of this episode.
Should he start it again?
No, because that'll be really funny.
Okay.
But
then I'm Phil.
And I'm Cole.
No, it's your turn. Should we do it again?
Some hard, so you don't have to.
All right. Well, now I should. There you go. You slow it hard, so you don't have to.
Yes. Sometimes we slum it from our cars.
You got to drive somewhere with better internet.
So you don't have to. We slum in cars.
I don't think you can hear us at all.
What do you call that? My data plan. You can't hear me?
It's pretty rough, Aaron.
Yes.
Turn off everything else. Are you downloading torrents on your phone while we're doing this too?
I turned off everything else.
Aaron, you can't watch old episodes of Jersey Shore while we record on the same device.
Can you hear me now?
Ooh, what happened? You sound wonderful.
Well, I turned off my AirPods and I'm just doing like speaker mode.
It actually sounds better like that.
It sounds a million times better.
All right, I just can't hear you guys as well, but it's all right.
This is proof.
Crank up the volume.
This is proof that AirPods are dumb.
Well, these are like...
Actually, no. It's proof that AirPods are dumb for podcasting.
Nobody claims they sound amazing.
My AirPods are secondhand. Hand-me-down, Gen 1 hand-me-downs.
Hand-me-downs.
Are they like the big, like the Wish.com ones that like go all the way down to your chin, you know? They're like
they don't go all the way down to my chin. They're Apple AirPods, but they're just the first gen. And found them abandoned.
Whatever you just did, don't do that.
I want Wish.com ones that go up instead of down, so they look like antennae.
You just flip them around to the opposite ears.
You just put them upside down though to do that.
Yeah. You got to put them in the opposite ears though, because they're kind of aimed forward, you know, into your ear.
Yeah, they don't fit in my ears.
AirPods don't at all.
No, and one ear. I think it's.
We have little baby
one.
soy boy ears.
Yeah. Yes. I think it's my right, or actually maybe it's my ear is too big.
Wait, are you trying to put both of them in the same ear?
It's like the right one fits, but the left one doesn't fit in my right ear.
You have to buy two sets, right? And you get two in here.
Are you trying to stick the whole long part right into your ear?
Yeah. You get that part.
Somebody's done that, right?
You get that part in there.
Microphone part in there.
Yeah.
And then when you start to feel resistance, then that's when you just keep pressing and twisting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See, it's never worked for me.
Have you seen any of those videos? You know, you can buy those little ear cameras online.
Phil, can I ask you a TikTok question?
Yeah.
TikTok related question?
Yeah.
Yes.
Shoot, Aaron. Go for it. And Aaron.
An ear camera to clean your ear? Oh, yeah. I've seen that.
Dude, Aaron.
My question is this. Why is it that anytime someone... Oh.
Dude, you are like 5 to 10 seconds behind us, Aaron. You need to find better internet somewhere.
All right. Well, I don't know what's...
Will it catch up or something?
I think that's going to happen.
Okay. So what were you going to say then? What was your question, TikTok related?
You know, on TikTok, people like make a video and they're wearing Apple headphones.
and they hold the microphone up.
But they hold the microphone directly to their mouth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that because they're dumb, or is that for a good reason?
No, they're smarter than us.
It's because
They're digital natives, and they've got this figured out way more than us.
No, it's because they're dumb. They don't understand that sound diffracts. So like the microphone is literally designed to hang down next to your, chin or whatever.
Okay, but sometimes they sound so good though.
Yeah, but a lot of times all you hear is the because they're like blowing directly into the microphone.
Straight plosives.
Exactly. They got those freaking plosives. They got straight plosives.
Yeah, they got so many plosives.
Cole, I think you and I are gonna need to run the show, and Aaron can
We're gonna need to carry the load here.
Yeah, and Aaron can laugh.
Hey, just so you know, I'm not heavy. I'm your brother.
Dude, speaking of not being heavy,
yeah,
you have 2 children now that aren't very heavy, right?
That's true.
Which explains why,
dude,
you're
going to be able to do.
No, so the reason I'm in the situation
child
I'm in
curls
is that
for so many months.
Yeah. We moved into a new apartment last week. While while having 2 children born.
That's a great time to do those things at the same time.
NICU. But we don't have internet yet, and we're supposed to get it hooked up, but they're like, oh, the cable line that you have isn't good, so we have to replace that.
That's the worst.
So they're not going to be able to do that till tomorrow. So I have no
There's
internet.
nothing worse than not having internet. Like
it's awful, dude.
I don't know how people did it before the internet. Like, what did they do?
Well, like back then you had like, at least you had cable, or you had like an antenna on your TV or something. Like you had radio, you expected it, but now it's like you don't have internet. Your house is just silent.
Yeah. Your entire existence is built around having internet.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to tell a story, and Aaron, you're going to have to practice patience.
All right.
And not interrupt, because I know that's going to be hard for you, but when you interrupt, you're interrupting like 5 seconds back from whatever we're saying. So it's going to make it even harder. So just try to like let the story go. Cole, you can interrupt.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm going to interrupt like a mofo.
Okay. You can interrupt for the both of you. Okay. So last week, the power went out at my school for a total of 40 minutes.
Which is always very exciting as a school child. When
it went out, we didn't know. We had no idea how long or whatever. And think about this. We're very much for our viewer at home. Just to catch you up to speed. I work at a school in a county with not good COVID numbers currently. However, we are doing full 5 days a week. So
it seems like those 2 pieces of information are kind of opposed to one another.
I would agree.
For 40 minutes?
I would I would
locked
agree,
and
Cole.
Loaded.
I would agree, Cole. I would agree.
Those beautiful.
Now, here's the thing. I feel like I need. So we have 4 periods that go straight through. We're on a block schedule. We do 4 periods that go straight through, and then because they've decided, well, it's bad for kids to, COVID wise, it's bad for kids to sit in piles and eat together. So we smash through 4 periods and then say, okay, get off campus. So this means by 4th period,
like half day, or they just eat a late lunch or whatever.
Yeah, they eat a late lunch. It's 70-minute periods, and a 10-minute passing period. And but so towards the end of 3rd period, power shuts off. And again, COVID, we're like they've instructed us, please don't pass out papers because you could be spreading COVID, which makes me so angry that that's one of the things we're not supposed to do when the kids are sitting closer than 2 feet apart from each other.
Yeah, that's not how COVID is spread. Has nobody in your county like read a news article in the last year?
But so as a result, we are completely digital. I mean, in my class, we're completely digital. We're completely paperless. So we don't even like the lesson that we had. We didn't even have a textbook or a novel or anything, and the power goes out, and we're like, I work with I'm co-teaching right now, and I look at the other teacher. We're like looking at each other. What? Okay. And then I was like, wait a minute. How many of you have phones? Or no, I said, well, okay, it's cool. Your Chromebooks, they still have batteries. And then somebody goes, yeah, but there's no Wi-Fi. And then I was like, oh yeah, there's no Wi-Fi. And I was like, okay, wait. Who has a hotspot? If you have a hotspot, you could put your Chromebook on your hotspot, right? And then I go, does anybody know how many Chromebooks you can put on one hotspot? Because there were like 5 or 6 kids. Yeah, I was like, dude, we should just, and then we were like, forget it. Let's just, and then somebody goes, can we just play Among Us? And I was like, okay, yeah, show me how to play Among Us.
So did you play Among Us?
And then the class completely devolved. But here's what's freaking crazy. These kids acted like all of us within minutes, they were acting like there's no more pandemic anymore. And I was like, wait, you still have to have your mask on.
Yeah, exactly.
Freaking morons.
It's like, no, the power went out, so the rules don't apply anymore, incling the pandemic rules. And it's like,
yes, it was like the world is ending.
We don't have Wi-Fi. So how are we supposed to wear a mask?
They can't track us anymore. We don't need
Wi-Fi.
So yeah, so it was 40 minutes. It was the last 10 minutes of one class, and then it just kept going into the passing period and into the next class period. And so I was like, all right, show me how to play Among Us, I guess. And that's what we did.
Among Us is pretty fun.
I would have just grabbed my guitar and started like, okay, this is my chance. I've got a captive audience. I'm going to start singing and playing songs.
Though.
However, I'm not allowed to sing in a room with because of COVID.
Obviously, even with the mask on, I guess. You have to be talking at full volume for hours a day, but if you were to sing, that would be the straw that broke the camel's back, the droplet that broke the students' rest.
Well, I don't know how to tell you this, but they said that singing doesn't cause any problems with COVID, so I think your school just doesn't want you to sing.
Like, just tell Phil.
Did they say specifically Mr. Eisenhower because of COVID? Mr. Eisenhower isn't allowed to sing.
Phil, studies have shown.
Oh man. Well, that.
Oh man. So
ridiculous.
Are your kids like getting vaccinated, or are they anti-vax too? Most of them.
No, he doesn't teach at John Adams anymore, so they're probably not allowed anti-vax.
Oh, Cole, you're gonna love this story. I've got a buddy who still teaches over there at that school,
J.A.
the school that shan't be named.
J. Adams. No, that's too obvious. Let's call it John A.
So they too had to follow these new
John Madams.
Schmadams.
Yeah,
they too.
It's John Adam and Eve, not John Madam and Eve. Does anyone ever make that joke? It's not. It's Adam and Eve, not Madam and Eve.
I have not heard that one, but
no,
that's pretty good, right?
Because they do Adam and Steve all the time.
I know, because it's like a subconscious, like they're more okay with lesbians than they are with gay men.
Yeah, that's true.
But also, it's a more obvious joke. Madam isn't a name; it's just a title. But still,
yes.
Anyways.
My buddy who still teaches there, I said, "Hey, so what are you guys doing to meet the new, guidelines in California, in classrooms in California?" And he goes, "Honestly, I don't know." And I go, "Why not?" And He says, because my staff, the admin at my school don't know how to meet over Zoom, and one of them tested positive, and all of the admin had to quarantine, and so they
just can't meet.
Yes.
So they've all been home, and
and they can't figure out Zoom.
Well, they can, but they're just not doing it. And then he was like,
Idiots.
He goes, we didn't have a meeting on Friday, and so he came to work today not knowing how or what he was supposed to do, and
Oh my god,
no admin on campus. At least at my school, my admin like moved my room around. Like I moved it, and then they fixed it because we had to do the one thing, and then we went back. They fixed it for me, and his admin was they just they haven't been.
Is this what the founding fathers envisioned, Phil? Is this what our founding father John Adams would have wanted?
Schmunch Adams.
People who don't even know
they're
how to
acting
use
like
Zoom.
a bunch of Quincy's is the thing,
Seriously.
or Quincy's maybe.
Quincy's.
John Quincy Adams, my favorite
John
president.
Quincy.
Your freaking Quincy's.
Man.
That joke warmed me from the inside all the way
Warmed
down.
your cuckles.
Yeah.
So,
Oh man.
Aaron,
So,
it's
guys,
okay.
You guys
it's
been
okay
watching...
for you to wait. Hang on, Aaron. It's okay for you to give the address of your current location because you won't be there next week. You're just on some street corner, right?
I'm out in front. I mean, I'm at a street corner
you were the
in
hospital.
front of where I live. No, I'm
Oh.
home right now.
Oh, I was thinking you were just like you just went out into the parking lot of the hospital or something.
But then why aren't you in your
No.
house?
Because he doesn't have internet. Oh, that's actually a valid point.
Um,
why aren't you in a
just
comfy
because-
chair, Aaron?
Brittany's sleeping.
I mean, I am. Yeah, my wife is asleep.
My
And
wife.
I'm trying to be considerate.
Oh,
Are your
Well,
car
Aaron-
seats
Tired.
not comfy, Phil?
My car
That might
seats are
be
great.
That might be the comfiest chair I own, honestly.
oh, really? I don't think
Seat
mine
This
are
seat's
comfy.
nice. It's like leather and bucket shaped.
Ooh, like-
Aaron, you need to find
Conforms to your body.
you need to find a private Christian university and wander around.
I do.
Can you hear
There is this.
the
There
sounds
is
of
like
Journey?
this church across the street. I bet they have Wi-Fi, but I don't know if they have like open Wi-Fi.
And
I
it's
should try
probably
it,
like
though.
sketchy. If you're like doing it from outdoors, it's probably worse than
Yeah.
cellular internet.
But they've been
5G.
they do like outdoor services. They have a big sign there. So I'm like, oh yeah, Sunday
A
morning.
big
I'm
sign
gonna
that says
see
"We
what
do it
these fools
outside
are up
every
to.
Sunday."
It says no better way to start your Sunday. Live outdoor services every Sunday at 10 a.m.
Dude, you can just open your window.
Yeah, literally.
Just, like,
Gun Street Wiring Shop represents a brand new approach to the guitar wiring market. From their nothing is impossible philosophy to their community first attitude, Gun Street Wiring Shop is the premier maker of guitar wiring harnesses. Based in Central Oregon, Gun Street only does one thing: make your guitar sound and play better. Bored with your standard switching? Gun Street. Need more options? Gun Street. Looking to nail that classic tone? Gun Street. You want to try something that's never been done before? Gun Street. Sean's always coming up with new circuit designs. He's always down to make something special to fit your exact needs. So hit him up now, gunstreetwiringshop.com. Turn your SG into an OMG, your Les Paul into a More Paul, your Telecaster into a Telestar Blaster. And as always, members of the Street Crew get an extra discount at everything at gunstreetwiringshop.com.
that's pretty dope.
It's pretty cool. What do you guys got going on?
Oh, you know,
What do you
just
got going on, Cole?
keeping track. I bought some GameStop stock, you know, just riding that wave.
Did you?
Did
No.
you really? Oh,
I try to get in at the end of these trends, you know.
Is
the
it
way to make
sad?
Yeah.
real money.
is it sad that I learned about that on TikTok?
The-
That's
no,
sad.
dude. TikTok
Game-
is an educational device site, educational
well,
site.
and it's like Twitter. Like the whole premise of it is that it gets news out quickly, you know, and things like rise to the top quickly. Like that's the point of it.
Right.
Where Facebook is like you just see whatever was interesting a month ago or whatever stupid thing your aunt posted about, you know, Stop the Steal or whatever.
Yes. No.
Yeah.
Facebook intentionally
Not a big
Once-
Ricky Henderson fan.
wants you to be angry. So
That
they
was
show
for
you
you,
things
Phil.
that things that will make you angry on purpose.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They only show the GameStop stuff 2 year in.
Exactly.
like,
And
why
she's
are
like,
these
won't
people-
somebody think of the hedge fund managers? They're the ones running our economy.
Yeah.
Their
How's the
money will
wealth going to trickle
to us
down if
eventually.
the poor people keep getting it?
Yeah. We have to
They're
let
the
it
adults
trickle.
in the room.
It's not going to trickle down to anywhere. It's going to trickle down to the
You
gutter.
can't pour down.
There's no
Pour
one
down. It has to
under them.
trickle.
Dude, freaking
Yeah.
pour that soy.
Pour it.
Trickle that
Pour
soy.
one out for the soy boys.
I have been weirdly. I've been watching a bunch of Andertons videos lately.
Ew,
How weird is that?
that's weird.
And it's so funny
Pretty
because
weird.
every video has like a disclaimer about COVID on it. Like, oh, this was filmed, blah blah blah, and it's like, just
We
like
did this
two guys
before
sitting in a
COVID.
room, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. Like,
Wait,
it's not
they're
like it's
still
some big
claiming that they
group.
recorded before COVID?
No,
like specific
sometimes they do that. They're
And
like,
they-
oh, go ahead. You tell it.
because like a lot of the videos right now, if I'm like watching a video from December, it's like this was recorded before the new UK guidelines or whatever. Because I think a
Oh,
lot of
yeah.
countries had new guidelines around Christmas or whatever.
Mm,
So,
like stricter guidelines.
but those videos are like a weird. The appeal of them to me, it appeals much more to like the shopaholic. Like I'll be the first to admit that I get like some amount of like dopamine rush or like whatever serotonin or whatever from just like buying things, you know,
Or
Uh,
estrogen?
and it kind of appeals to that same thing partially because like a lot of their videos are like in the store, so they'll be like, oh, we're gonna go walk around the store and
Oh, yeah,
find our
yeah.
favorite whatever pedal, and it's like, oh, let's look at all those fancy things, you know.
it's just like shop till you drop.
Yeah, it's a gas. I came up with this thing like gear acquisition syndrome. You think that gas?
Hey, clever.
Like you could say, like, I got gas.
You could say I got gas.
Like an acronym.
But here's,
Right?
let me tell you about gas though.
Okay, tell us.
Everyone, people
Oh.
say they have gear acquisition syndrome. Acquisition. Can I say that? Gear acquisition. I can't say it. They say they have
Easy for
gas.
you to say.
Gear acquisition syndrome
Mhm.
when they're talking about like stuff that they want to get. But like
Right.
that's not the
Yeah,
syndrome.
so it's like gear. Yeah, the syndrome isn't buying it. It's like lusting after it.
Right.
Is that
Yeah,
what you're
but
saying?
really, like it sounds like gear acquisition syndrome sounds like you keep buying stuff. Like you can't stop yourself from buying.
Which I think,
things.
Yeah.
But people see it and
Which
they're
is
like,
the
"Oh,
thing.
look at this! This new thing is giving me gas. Like I have
Right.
gas.
I'm
because I
gassing
see
really
this thing
hard.
that I want."
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
but that's because it's making them want to acquire it.
It would be like I know, but it would
I'm
be
on
like
Aaron's side.
it would be like if you're like, "Oh, I'm addicted to like food or whatever." Like I don't eat it a lot, but when I see something that looks good, I'm like, "Oh, that looks good,"
I
and
talk
then I
about
don't,
wanting
and then
it.
I don't eat it.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Like that's not really an addiction.
You're saying because it's temporary. It's like you wouldn't need a video to give you that. It's like how people, I don't know, there was this old like, man, I'm trying to remember who it was. He was like a big Inbox Zero guy. He was like one of these guys who, you know, do these podcasts about thinking differently and all this crap. And he would joke about how like, well, you always do the stuff that's high priority to you. Like nobody ever sets a reminder for themselves to masturbate because you always find time to do that. And it's like, well, I mean, that's not the only reason you don't. It's like you don't want someone to find it too, I guess. But
Like, what's
like,
that
yeah.
timer for? You got your
If you-
timers going off. Oh yeah.
I got my Pomodoro timer going.
Dude, imagine like the Pavlovian response though to that. It'd just be out of bounds.
That would be some deep links there.
It's like, why are you
That
so
is
happy
funny though.
about that?
It's like
Hearing
that's
my
like
alarm go off.
okay. So here's the other piece that I picture is like somebody who actually legitimately has gear acquisition syndrome, like has been diagnosed by a professional, and they're like, stop
Yeah.
like appropriating my, like when people say, oh, this is making my OCD go crazy.
Yeah.
It's like stop minimizing gear acquisition syndrome is a real mental illness.
Yeah.
Yeah, like these people
Stop
like wake
turning
up
it into your little meme.
on like Monday morning and they're like, "Oh
Yeah,
crap, I bought all this stuff.
they're
I
losing
don't
their
even remember.
jobs.
I
Or, like-
acquired so much
They've
gear."
been fired from like job after job because they keep going on Reverb all day.
I'm a chocoholic.
Oh, you're addicted to Chocohol? Remember that old Jim?
That's a classic Norm Macdonald. I'm addicted to
Oh, what's
workahol.
workahol? Yeah. Workahol. Yeah, that's great.
It's good
You know, I
stuff.
just now, like in the
So-
last day or two, realized what WFH means when you see it. Like I would see it on like, oh, this
Work
is like
from
a
home.
great like
Yeah, yeah.
WFH option. It's like, what does that mean?
You know, it's weird because you saying that, I immediately know what the acronym means, but I still
Yeah,
don't recognize it as I'm seeing stuff. Like when I see it in
yeah.
advertising or whatever, it still doesn't
Yeah.
totally click. You know,
Wait, tell me.
It reminds- I
It's
think
so
it's like
new.
UHF.
work from
It
home.
means work from home.
Oh. Okay.
Like I saw on Instagram, I followed all these like a bunch of like celebrity gossip accounts, because that's who I am now
'Cause
in my
you don't
my
need
late
to explain
30s.
yourself.
that's who I've always been, but I just found a bunch of new ones on Instagram. But because of that, like my ads have like changed, so I get like weird ads for like ads that are clearly targeted to like middle-aged women or like women in their like
Yeah.
20s, either one. So I get a lot of stuff for like, oh, this is a great work from home outfit, and it's like sweatpants or something. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, cool.
Or like some wine aerator or something.
Yeah.
Whatever those things are called that you pour your wine through.
Yeah. I'm not real big in wine.
Aerator. No,
Oh,
that's
I
what
was
it
right.
does.
So I
What is
found
it
this.
called?
I got
I found
one,
this
but it
TikTok.
didn't work very well, and I was like, man, this is an unreliable aerator.
It is.
Idiot.
That's a good joke.
Okay, so here's the weird thing. I feel like I'm becoming. I don't know if it's the pandemic that's having this effect on me, but I'm becoming like this boring middle-aged dad guitarist because I've been watching all these Andertons videos.
Let's
And
I think it's
totally
just
blame it
time.
on the pandemic.
It's time.
No, it's
Some
the
of them
pandemic.
make me want to get a Les Paul or a PRS.
Oh, nice.
And Crocs.
Do either of you guys? Well, I mean, I actually
want-
bought like house slippers a few months ago. I wear them all over the place.
Should I get Crocs? I kind of want Crocs.
Here's the thing
I
about
want to get
Crocs.
Crocs. My feet. Oh, go ahead.
They're just not comfortable.
Are you
'Cause
sure?
they're like they're comfortable in the sense that they're like squishy,
Yeah.
but I could never like get used to the feeling like on the top of my foot of this like foam just touching your foot.
Maybe you're getting sizes that are too small.
Okay,
No,
so
they
I got
fit me
these
well,
really
but-
good. I got these really good. Oh crap! What's that website that sells the shoes? You know, the really
Zappos?
popular one. Yeah, Zappos. I'm trying to look through my email to find out what brand they are. I got some flip flops that are like, oh, they're called Hoka, Hoka.
Oh,
Oh,
those
yeah,
are my
yeah.
running shoes.
Yeah, so they make
You
they're
run
like
in
specifically
flip-flops?
they're like specifically designed for runners. They're like recovery flip flops for people who do like whatever
Ooh,
endurance.
send them
training, I
to me.
guess.
I mean, not send
And-
send us a picture.
And they're very like one thing I like
Yeah,
about
send me
them,
your shoes.
my brother who's like an ultra runner, you know, that runs like 10s or 100 miles or whatever. He had some and he was like
10 or 100, whatever.
I said 10s. Like he'll run these like 100-mile races.
Yeah.
It's just
What a
insane.
weirdo.
I say run, it's like shuffling, I guess, but still it's way more than I could do, obviously. I could shuffle for like a half mile. He was like, yeah, I love these flip-flops. They're a little bit too big, like the straps are a little bit too wide. And I was like, now you're speaking my language. Because I have
Like
a hard
a
time
hot dog
finding
down a-
shoes. So the Hoka 1-1 is what they're called, Phil.
Okay, one. Juan.
And
Isn't that 11?
so that's
Don't
what
we
I
say-
wear
Don't we say 11?
most of the time. But I want to get Crocs because they're like, because right now there's like snow on the ground and stuff. So flip flops, I'm okay walking outside when it's cold in flip flops, but as soon as your feet get wet, it kind of kills them.
Yeah, you need something to cover the top of your feet if it's snowing.
Exactly. So I have like some slippers, but they have like some rubberized plastic material on the bottom, but it's the type of thing that if I wore them outside for like more than an hour, they'd probably wear all the way through, you know. It's like very flimsy. But Crocs, they make those Crocs that are like insulated on the inside.
Yes.
I feel like those would just smell terrible after like
Yes.
a half hour.
I want all freaking rubber or whatever. Is it foam?
Yeah.
What are they
'Cause
made
aren't
out of?
they? They're like
It's
they're
like
a
rubberized foam.
yeah, it's like a pretty
Foamized
low
rubber?
density foam. Yeah, it's foamized rubber.
The thing about it is, I'm gonna get real personal here, but I'm very particular about my toenails being touched by things. I don't like it. And
Well,
like
that's not. It would be really personal if you said you do like it.
the Croc would be like I would feel like my toenail would get like in the Croc part of it, and then it would like shift, like my toe would move, but my toenail wouldn't, or like vice versa. And I just really could not get along with that.
I hate it when
Dude,
my
this
toenail
is
gets
like-
stuck in the Croc.
Dude, this
So I'm
just
like, I
turned
guess
in-
I could wear socks with the Crocs, but then it
Dude, socks with the
rhymes too
Crocs.
much.
That's the name of my ska band.
Like I can't wear rhyming clothes.
So this is like a My Strange Addiction episode, honestly. Like
Kinda.
you're worried about your toenails getting
I
like.
got Croc
in weird
acquisition
directions.
syndrome.
No,
How
it's
long are
my
your toenails? First of all,
it's my
It's
it's my
regular
strange
length. They're like
aversion.
normal.
so maybe
It's not my
maybe
strange
the fact
addiction. It's
maybe
my
the fact
strange
that
aversion.
millions of people have worn Crocs without having toenail issues should tell you everything you need to know.
No, I think it's just that I like don't like weird things touching my feet, and it just really, I don't know. I probably should have given it more than like a couple minutes, and I probably would have got used to it. But as a kid,
I
I
like
would
this.
never wear flip flops. I hated wearing flip flops
Me
because I didn't
too.
like the thing between my toes.
Me
I
too.
love that. Sometimes I'll like if I'm sitting there, I'll just like grind it in there, you know.
Sometimes now I love it. Now I'll just like put a straw between my toes and just walk around barefoot with a straw between my toes.
Yeah, man.
You'll like make
Oh my
a,
God.
you'll make a flip flop out of like a water bottle, a plastic bottle, or something like that.
Yeah. It's just like anti-turtle
That's the
footwear.
Filipino side. That's the Filipino side of you coming out.
You say the Filipinos.
Ew. Yikes!
Hey, leave me out of this.
Cole, speaking of ska bands, did you hear that new Mighty Mighty Boss Towns track?
No, is it good?
It's pretty good. It's like 8 minutes long, and it has like guest appearances from like everybody. It has like 20 guest
Everybody?
appearances on it.
Dude,
Yeah,
that's
you
like
were
a,
on it. You don't remember?
like a We Are the World, but just ska and punk bands, probably.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. The only person I knew the name of was Tim Armstrong, but like I
Yeah.
recognized a lot of the voices. I think, or they seem familiar. And it's like it's this song about like how ska is not dead. Basically, it's a really
Okay.
weird song.
The Final Parade.
The Final Parade, yeah. It's like
Yeah, look
we
it
will
up.
not. You will not see
they-
me in the Final Parade.
There is this. You know, are you familiar with H2O at all?
Yeah, those guys are in it too.
Okay, yeah, because Dickie Barrett sings on one of their songs. It's called "Faster Than
okay.
the World," and it's like, and it's the same way. They have a bunch of people that like.
FTW,
Well, and Dickie Barrett's the one that says, "What about Boston?"
FTTW.
Oh, Roger Lehman. No, well, FTTW. That is what it means, but it also means follow
Yeah.
the freeway. So
I know, but
Roger
that's,
Lehman
like,
from
one of
Less
the
Than
songs.
Jake.
Yeah.
H2O guy, Goldfinger, John Feldman from Goldfinger.
Oh, John Feldman is in it. I didn't see his
Yeah.
name.
Jay
It's
Navarro
pretty-
from
it-
Suicide Machines.
It really is like the whole song is the
Dude.
Final Parade. It's like a New Orleans
Like-
funeral. It's like a parade. It's like
Yeah, yeah.
we're not dead. It's like, don't worry, guys, ska is still alive and we're still doing it. But it's a bunch of like old white dudes and a couple of
That's pretty.
other people.
That's pretty sad.
I enjoyed it though. I
That was
liked
like-
the song.
Okay, so here are the people that were on Faster Than the World. So like Tim Armstrong and Dickie Barrett were both on it.
Okay.
Let's see here. I don't remember. Oh, it looks like that was mostly it. Roger Myritt. He was from Agnostic Front. Did you listen to Agnostic Front at all?
A little bit.
Kind of like
Not
them.
a ton.
Yeah, I wasn't super into them.
They're that like that
But that's
New York
more like
hardcore
they're more
kind of thing.
hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Dude, I'll have to check it out. That is like, so I went to that Face to Face and Less Than Jake song or concert. I guess it wasn't last year. It must have been the year before. And it's kind of like it's very kind of sad. It was a lot of fun, obviously, because like both those bands, the music is very, especially Less Than Jake, it's like super upbeat and a ton of fun and everything. And they sound amazing live. But then you also look around and think like, man, there's only a couple hundred people here. Like there couldn't have been more than 1,000 people at the show. And so you're like doing the math in your head of like, man, like I respect that these guys stuck with the music and maybe there aren't a lot of like jobs that they could just easily go get, but like they're just like barely getting by, you'd think. Like it's not, they're living the rock star lifestyle in some ways, but at the same time, they're not like making millions of dollars like you imagine, you know?
Most of those guys, like if they're still doing it,
outside.
are just like constantly hustling in other ways too, like running record labels or
they have
selling merch, or
they have like a lot of merch that they're selling. Or like, you know, they all have a ton of vinyl coming out and they're always peddling it and stuff. But yeah, that's interesting. Peddlers. And I wonder, like, what does Dickie Barrett's voice even sound like now?
Sounds the same, pretty much.
Sound the same.
Yeah. It's he's like Bob Dylan.
I guess his voice is already so jacked up.
Yeah.
Well, it's like such a weird thing because he's on Kimmel like every night, isn't he?
Is he?
Or is he
I've
always?
Never watched Kimmel.
I mean, isn't he? He's like the announcer guy. He's like the
Dickie Barrett is.
You know, like who was the? Yeah.
I had no idea.
Who was the guy on Carson? Like Ed McMahon or whatever. Like he's the Ed McMahon or like the Andy, I guess, of Conan at a certain point. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's like the guy for Jimmy Kimmel all the time.
Oh, no, the guy for Jimmy Kimmel is the Hispanic gentleman.
Guillermo. No, he works. Dude's like security.
Security.
Yeah.
He is. He's like head of security or something.
He is like that's where he. Well, he was like
a guy that like worked on the show. Yeah, he like worked at the studio, and he just started bringing him on the show.
Yeah, so in 2004, Barrett became the announcer of Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Huh.
And I think he's.
Have you seen the videos where Guillermo's on the red carpet and he's just making celebrities drink tequila with him?
So good.
No.
Yeah, and some of the celebrities are like way into it and have a lot of fun, and some of them are just like That's one of those where it's like that's a perfect judge of character, right?
Right. Well, and then what's really funny
how they react to Guillermo.
Yeah. But then what's really funny is that because it's been like an ongoing bit that in the more recent ones, like they'll come running up and they're like, Guillermo, do you have tequila? Like they see him and then they go running towards him. They're like, oh, can I have a shot? And he's like, yes.
Yeah. It's kind of like Billy on the Street. Have you guys seen Billy on the Street very much?
I love Billy on the Street.
So good.
Miss for $1.
It's one of those things that can name a woman. That's one of my favorite ones.
A woman?
Like, say your own name, lady.
Name a woman. Any woman? Yes.
One of them asks.
That one's good.
They asked that lady he asked that lady to name 3 white men, and the third one was Michael Jackson, and he's like, she's not white.
There is one,
but like that's one of those shows that can only like its own popularity undoes it, because at a certain point, like it's the premise of it is it relies on people. It's kind of like Phil Hendry. Remember that show back in the day?
Yes.
Did you guys ever listen to Phil Hendry?
Hell yes, I did.
Oh my gosh, he was so good. It was a talk radio show, and he would do all these different voices. So he would pretend to be guests, and they
like
would just
in real time.
In real time. So like he's having a conversation with himself, pretending to be these guests, and they would have like these awful, opinions about stuff, and then people would call in and yell at him. But I guess something like that on the radio, it's like so you only ever need a couple people to eat the onion, I guess.
Yeah. But it relies on the fact that back in the day, people would just like twirl the dial and stop on something,
Oh, yeah.
and then just start.
Yeah.
And that I don't
Totally.
know if that still happens like that. But
no.
Billy on the Street, it got interesting when he got more popular and then had guests with him that were like
Yeah,
celebrities.
Totally. Like,
and then he'd do things like he'd say like, who do you think is more attractive, so and so or Paul Rudd? And they'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't care for Paul Rudd. And then they're like, well, he's right here.
Yeah, he's standing right there.
Those kind
What
of
was
things.
the one I saw? I forget who he was with. Oh, it was like John Oliver, I think. And he was asking people,
Yes.
do you care about John Oliver?
First-
And they're like, no.
It was all gay people. He'd go up. First of all, I don't know how many takes they throw away, but seriously, like his gaydar is like
Ew,
off the
no.
charts because he
Yeah.
he can sense any and on that one where he's talking.
Oh yeah, he would
asking
ask
if
him
they
like,
care
"Are
about
you
John Oliver.
homosexual? Do you care about John Oliver?"
No, he just runs up and says, "Are you gay?" And
Yeah.
on that episode, he like yells in through a store window, "Gays, get out here!" they come running
He's
out,
really funny.
and every single person, he's like, "Do you care about John Oliver?" And they're like, "I don't really know who that is." And then he says, "What about Wendy Williams?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, I love her."
Wendy Williams, of course. Holy
Wendy
crap,
Williams
Wendy-
is wild.
That one's so good.
I love her. Her show is crazy.
Yeah. And he cracks me up. Yeah, but the one he goes around with Chris Pratt and just like asks people, "Do you know who this is?" And no, literally nobody knows. Well, I mean, obviously they throw away the takes where people do know who it is, but
Yeah.
they're like, "He's the hottest man in Hollywood right now." And they're like, "Yeah, I don't know."
It's
So
also
good.
funny because so many people in New York just like do not care
Yeah,
about
Totally. That's
what
what
he's talking,
there's
what
a-
he's
yes.
doing.
there's
not
a
only
there's
do
a-
they not
yeah
care, but they don't care about, like, it's probably the same in LA where like they've seen enough famous people that just seeing a famous person, like if there was like a B-list celebrity that walked down the street in Utah, everyone would like be taking out their phones to take a picture. But like in Manhattan, it's like, well, what do I care about John Oliver or like Sarah Jessica Parker or whoever else, you know?
Yeah.
Is that who it is? Sarah Jessica Parker, the one from Sex and the City?
yes
Yeah.
That she was on a couple episodes that were pretty funny as well.
I feel like LA, everyone would be playing it up. Like it'd be hard to
Yeah.
find someone to just
Because-
like have a straight reaction in LA.
Because they would want the camera time because they're trying to be famous. But
Yeah.
the people in Manhattan are like, no, I'm on my way to my marketing job downtown
Yeah.
or whatever.
Like, can't you see I'm wearing scrubs and tennis shoes? I
Yeah,
have very
exactly.
important places to be.
I'm going to,
Or like a skirt suit
residency.
and tennis shoes.
oh, man.
That's I don't know a lot about New York, but my favorite thing is people wearing pantyhose with sneakers. Like that I love.
you love
And
that
those with sneakers?
I think it's hilarious because they're like dressed for their office job, but they have to walk 20
yeah.
blocks. So they
oh
like
gotcha
Yeah, totally.
throw socks and sneakers over it.
Yeah.
they're walking a half mile to work so yeah
Yeah. From the subway or whatever. And they don't want to step in all the urine with their office shoes.
Yeah.
they don't want to mix the outside grossness
Filth.
with the inside.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think all offices should just be barefoot offices, honestly.
That's what
Mm.
my office has been barefoot for the last 10 months or so. I'll probably go. I've probably gone like 3 or 4 days in a row without ever putting on a pair of socks. Actually,
Nice.
in the summer, I probably went longer than that.
Really, all buildings should be like barefoot. They should have like shoe cubbies like outside the mall.
Hmm.
Is that how? I mean, it's kind of like that in Japan, but just in homes, right? Or in a lot of Asian countries,
Yeah.
but just in homes.
I remember like having like friends that had like a no shoe policy at their house. It was so annoying.
That's
You'd walk
how
in the mall and be
most-
like, "All right, take off your shoes." Like,
I think
why?
that's like
Especially-
a-
Especially for people like you with toenail issues.
yeah,
Well, I like my feet being free. I was like, I'm all for it, but
fascinating.
like, I don't know what's on your carpet. I don't know your nasty carpet on my feet.
So here's the thing, Aaron.
Brushing
I
up
think
against my
that's showing-
toenails.
I think that's showing your coastal elite status there, your privilege. Because like that's normal here for people to take off your shoes because it's so often
Like snow stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
But yeah, our house was definitely that. Like you left there was like a big, is this kosher to say what, the kind of rug that I'm talking about?
Shag rug?
No, like, kind of fancy looking rug with like tassels on the end and
ornate.
like
I think what
is
you're
it a
looking for.
Persian rug?
Ornate.
it starts with or, but
Ornate.
Are you saying a flying carpet?
no, like an oriental rug.
You
You have to call those Asian rugs now.
I don't think they are Asian though. Like, I don't think they're actually Asian in origin. I think that was just like a name given to them.
Oh, maybe so.
You
What
mean
does
like
Oriental even mean? Oriental means
Indians?
from the East, I think. But
of the Orient?
Yes, Oriental,
But-
I believe, just means like to the east, to the right. Then the opposite of Oriental is Occidental.
who decided that North was up? That's pretty weird, right? Is
Yeah.
it because like all the rich people are in the northern hemisphere?
Yes.
Probably so, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
No.
No, it is. That's why.
Because it's not like
Because they were
it's not
like, they're like, well, we're gonna make a map, and we're not gonna put us on the bottom of the map.
yeah. Like,
And we're gonna put us at the top, and these other people are below us to the south.
dude, this lady on my mission had a world map from Japan, and it had Japan right in the middle of the map. It was
Nice.
so awesome. And it was like dark red, and every other
That's
country
kinda
was
cool.
like kind of the light colors that you normally see on maps, kind of like
Uh-huh.
the pastel colors, and Japan was red right in the middle.
That's sick.
This was a power move.
Total power move.
It was a power top. Power.
It's
Is that
like a
thing,
40-minute
top?
power outage.
Just power bottom.
You could be a power top.
Are you saying I could be or one?
Yeah, you
be?
could.
I could see that. Could you be a top bottom?
You gotta be flexible.
I could
The
see
power
that.
is
I could see
derived
that
from
working.
the bottom.
Power is derived.
Generates a significant amount of power.
Derivative. The limit does not exist.
I need to. Has there been new Always Sunny coming out?
I don't think it's out yet, but I know it was announced.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen it or heard of anything new being released. And I follow them on like Instagram and stuff, so I think I would see it.
This episode is brought to you, of course, like every episode, by Sinusoid Pro Audio Couture. I first heard of Sinusoid a million years ago when they introduced their sliver patch cables. Up until that point, you basically had two options for patch cables. You had really big things that took up a ton of space, or you had solderless cables, which are sometimes unreliable. People have weird feelings about them. But the sliver kind of melded those two things together and gave us a new generation of patch cable. It's essentially the smallest soldered connector around, which makes it perfect for almost every situation, whether you're a home musician, a touring, working muso, a studio player, or you just want your board to look good. The sliver is there. It's tiny, it's reliable, it's pretty dang close to being the perfect patch cable. They also come in lots of fun colors. You can get an orange, green, red, yellow, blue, or the tried and true black. If you haven't tried them yet, check them out. Sinusoid.com. Look for the slivers. They really are the coolest patch cables around.
If that were the case.
Okay, so here's a question though. Phil, do you have a game for us this week?
I have a game for us for next week.
Next week? Aaron, do you have a game? And will it?
I
also
do
be
not
for
have a
next
game.
week?
I do not have a game for any week.
Wait. Aaron.
Boned us. I told you to.
You do
You
have
did
a
tell
game.
me to.
You do have a game, and the game is I spy with my little eye
All right.
something red, and it has to be something in your car.
Japan.
All right, we can do that. We can do that game.
I'm just kidding. Let's
Except
not
there's
play that
nothing
game.
red in here. There's nothing red in here.
Well, no, you say what color it is.
Yeah, you say it, Aaron. Except we should probably wrap this up. So, and I'm not saying that because of me. I'm saying that because
Let's give it a 5. Let's give it a 5.
Respect my brother's time.
Respect my authority. So I posited this question on the Facebook group, and I think it's worth discussing. But If we were to be the three amigos,
Yes.
who do you think we would each be? Because I think my answers may be pretty correct. But I think we should also go down the list and assign other characters to things and people. So I think I would be Dusty Bottoms, which is the Chevy
That
Chase
is-
character.
Chevy Chase's character.
For one thing, he is the tallest. He is
Does
also.
he ever-
Phil?
Has he ever been in a wheelchair?
I am taller than Phil. Is he the love? Is he the one that falls in love, or is that the Cold Duke character that falls in love with the girl in the bar?
It's
My Little Buttercup.
how dare you? It is definitely freaking
That's Steve Martin.
Steve Martin.
All right, then I'm Steve Martin. I changed. Just kidding.
No, you're not.
So who's
But wait,
Steve
Are
Martin's
you
the
really?
leader
How
of the
much
group,
taller?
right? I'm like barely
Kind-
taller than Phil. We're pretty much the same height. I'm like maybe an inch taller.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You're both
Yeah.
very tall.
Yeah, I'm like 6'2", and he's like
We're all-
6'1". Are you 6'1", Phil? Or are you 6'2" also?
I'm between 6'1" and 6 foot, and
Okay.
I always say 6 foot
Do
because I
you-
find
when
it
you
obnoxious
measure yourself,
when people. Yes.
when you measure yourself, do you do it without shoes on? Because like
Why do
the
NBA
shoes-
people
shoes-
and,
what
like,
do shoes have to
athletes
do
and
with
stuff,
it?
Yeah. Why would shoes count?
I mean, when you're
Well,
measuring
it's your
yourself,
height.
Like
all you need is a ruler.
all athletes that measure their height, it's based on when
Oh,
they're wearing
height.
shoes. Did you know that?
Sorry, height.
Stupid.
What do you think I was talking about? Length?
Yeah, just like general
I mean,
length.
depending on who you are, your shoes might play a part, you know.
I guess.
Yeah, depending on your
Okay, so you're
proclivity for
so you're Chevy
toenails.
Chase. Steve
Yeah.
Martin's kind of the leader, but he's also kind of dumb. Like he doesn't know what's going on a lot of times.
Yeah,
So that probably fits for me. And that means
And
Phil
Ned
is,
Niederlander.
Ned Niederlander.
Most of them are Cajun, actually.
that was the one name I couldn't remember.
Honestly,
Is
don't-
Steve Martin's character, which is Lucky Day. I looked it up, but I couldn't remember it
Lucky
off the top
Day.
of my head.
Yeah.
But I remember
I
Dusty
couldn't
and
either,
Ned.
honestly. It's less memorable for some reason.
So
Lucky
that's
Day.
definitely you. Just kidding.
Just kind of blends in.
Phil and
you know?
Aaron, and who's that other guy? I can't remember his name. He's got like kind of white hair, but I don't know.
He's
kind of
got
leader.
clear hair.
Clear hair.
Like that,
Just
like
colorless
that
hair.
rice pasta.
It's rice noodles.
Yeah, it's like rice
Ew.
noodles.
He's got some rice noodles like taped to his head, stuck to his head.
Yeah.
Justin
So
Timberlake's
who's El
got
Guapo?
ramen, and Steve Martin's got rice noodles. El Guapo is so El Guapo is the enemy, of course. So if you're
So
asking
Ryan
Phil,
Burke.
he's probably like, "Oh, it's Mark Johnston," but I don't agree with that.
I don't either.
Friend of the show, enemy of Phil, Mark Johnston is
If you're
not El
asking
Guapo.
me, it's either Josh Katurba or it's Builder Bobby.
Builder Bobby is
Wait a
I
minute.
think
No,
El
it's
So
Guapo
Builder
is,
Bobby is like one.
It's the Wayne guy.
it's you think?
Bendy.
It's Bendy. He's not our enemy.
Bendy bends a lot.
He's not our enemy,
He's yeah.
but he's significant in our folklore.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's the singing bush?
Mm-hmm.
The singing sword, you mean? Is there a singing bush too?
There's not a singing sword. There's a singing bush.
What
Are you sure?
talking about, Aaron?
Yes.
There's not a
What are you
singing
talking
sword?
about?
What does the
No.
sword do?
Nothing.
What does the sword do?
Nothing. There is
You're
no
thinking of a
sword.
different movie.
There's no sword
You're
in Three
thinking
Amigos?
of-
No.
What do they pull out of the stone?
Your mom.
You know,
Shit,
there's a
that's
movie
Sword
called
and
Sword in the
Stone.
Stone, right?
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah, it's
try
the Three
and-
Amigos.
don't try
The
and cover it up like
the
you knew
old
all
the
along.
old wizard guy, the little boy, and the owl.
The owl.
Three amigos.
Aaron's the owl, obviously. Just based on
I'm Mark.
body hair coverage.
Oh wow.
That was the singing bush was one thing I didn't think was funny as a kid.
I just remembered a part that, and it made me smile, that I haven't thought of in a really long time because it's not like one of the main things, but I've been looking at the photos on IMDb. And when Steve Martin says it's real, and then he goes, "They are going to kill us." And they all start crying together.
That's really funny.
Gosh, that movie is so over the top and great in like every single category.
I might need to watch it with my kids. It's only PG. I can't.
But
think
it's
of, like,
probably
anything.
appropriate.
It probably has like a bunch.
But
of
it's
swearing.
80s PG. It's, trust me, your son would not approve.
Is it like the questionable
Oh.
stuff is like over their head though? You think?
Maybe,
I
but
don't
it says
know.
under the profanity part, a little profanity,
Just a little.
not
Just a tiny
damn hell,
profanity.
GD, dick, ass, and balls. Talked over all my profanity, Aaron.
I heard it.
And then not a ton, but typical of a PG movie from 1986.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
It's actually a very good description.
So does that mean that claims of like this generation is worse are actually false? Because like that would never be in a PG children's movie.
No, that's because
Basically,
PG-13. PG-13.
Or does that
didn't
mean
exist back then?
Okay,
So it's
that was my
it's
second
really.
question.
I mean, there was never. Well, like I guess there are plenty of movies that had like a ton of f-bombs, but like they were R even back then.
Yeah, it
They'd
would just
still be.
they
Because
would
now
like,
PG is basically like not PG. Like the P
Kids.
is not relevant in PG anymore.
It's like kids movies,
It's
basically.
like parental guidance suggested, but not really.
Yeah, but
That's
like, don't
true.
worry about it.
right. That, gosh, I'm trying to okay, what's a PG movie, like a recent PG
Or like
movie?
animated, like Shrek is PG, for example.
Huh.
Like,
Yeah,
that's what a lot of
yeah.
PG movies would be nowadays. Or like freaking Beethoven.
PG is basically like TV7 now. It's like it's
Yeah.
for kids, but not like for your tiny kids. It's like older
Yeah.
kids.
Okay. Do you know what is for kids?
But I don't care.
I
Do you know
do.
what is for kids?
Yes. What? Cool.
Friendship.
Not the way I do it.
I think Aaron was saying friendship while he was going down a robot drain hole. You sounded like Neo when he got like unplugged when he took the freaking red pill
From Land of Far Away.
and he's like getting pulled into or pulled out of the Matrix and it's all
Oh yeah.
Okay, thanks for friendship.
Thanks for friendship.
Thanks for friendship.
Slow